Hi, I'm Luann Midgley from Tell Your Story Videos, and this is Shop Talk. Today I'm going to be speaking with Lauren Woodgate. Lauren is a brand voice coach, and she helps her clients with finding the right words to tell their story to their community and audiences. Lauren, I am so looking forward to speaking with you. Lauren, you're a copywriting coach. What's the path that took you here?
Well, as I speak with my clients about this a lot because they're all business owners. And I feel like what we end up doing with our business is a mix of different skills and talents and experiences that we've acquired over time. And for me, I think from the skills side, I've always just loved words. And I began my career as an English teacher. And so I was in the classroom teaching grammar, teaching the right way to write, if you like. And it felt quite limiting at times. But there was an element I really liked, which was just watching people express themselves and find their way. And I also taught English to newcomers to Canada who didn't have English as a first language. And so that whole cultural diversity and mix of different ways of expressing was really, really fun. And I loved watching people find their way in a new language and watching how the words that we use really do help to define who we are and how we think. And it's hard when you move to a new place to really share who you are in a language that's difficult for you. And so I kind of had the skill around words and writing in a correct way and teaching writing mixed with that kind of self-expression element that I noticed that was just fascinating for me and I felt really drawn to. And in every different role I had, even in the corporate world, I was helping people to express themselves in a clear way and in a way that felt comfortable for them and natural for them. And I just loved that side of it, in how you could be doing the same work as somebody else, but describe it so differently with different words, with different energy. And so I got really into the energetic side of words as well, which I call my word woo-woo. And I think that that was kind of like the work side. And then there was the study side. I studied storytelling and fairy tale. And I didn't think at the time that would have any kind of relevance in my future career. I loved storytelling and I loved fairy tale and folk tale and any kind of stories that really spoke to the human experience. Because I'm very sensitive and introverted. And so I read a lot. And I just love anything to do with emotion and connecting people and those kind of experiences that connect us as human beings. And then now I end up in this role as a brand voice coach where I'm able to use all those things just miraculously. So I've kind of carved this space for myself where I'm helping people to write copy for their businesses, but in a way that feels really connected to who they are and their energy. So they're putting out the right kind of, not the right, but the right for them expectation. And they're attracting the people that would really benefit from their work in the way that they do it. And I just love learning about other people's journeys and their stories and helping them to incorporate that into their messaging.
What a wonderful coming together of all your skills and then bringing that to help people in their business and their business writing. So when people come to you and take some of your programs, what are you specifically kind of drilling in and helping them with? And what can they expect as well?
Yeah, so I work one-on-one with people if they have a specific project, like a website that they're writing, or if they want to create like a messaging system for their social media presence. But I also have a group course, Voice Your Vision, which is really a website copywriting course. But I don't think it's the typical copywriting course. It's very me in that there's a lot about figuring out exactly what your message is. And the one thing that so many people say when they come out of that course is, I feel like before I was walking around in the dark and I was just kind of pulling ideas from here, there, and everywhere. And now I feel like I just have so much clarity, and not just around the website copywriting, but when somebody just asks me in the street, oh, what do you do? I can now tell them what I do. And it sounds so simple, but it just takes so much work to get to that level of clarity where you really understand, because you're just so in it. When it's your business, you're so close to it, you do it every day, and you don't see your uniqueness, and you don't see those skills and talents that other people can see in you. And I think that the first stage is always getting that clarity. And when it comes to writing your website, that's where so many of them just don't hit the spot, because it's just a bit too woolly. It doesn't get down into the specifics, and it's because we're just always trying to sound good or trying to sound creative, but it's not concrete enough. And so we start with that clarity of, what do you do that's different from other people? What is it exactly that you do that other people in your industry perhaps take a different approach to? And who are the people that this would really speak to, this particular approach? And then why is it that you're doing this, that whole journey that we forget when we're sitting there by ourselves writing our content, how important that is for other people to hear. We just cast it aside and think no one cares about that. But that's the storytelling element that's going to bring it to life for people and make it relatable. And so it's that clarity, and then really getting the concrete practice of writing those website pages with the feedback. And that's where like the technical side comes in, and not just grammatical, but how can we make this flow better? Where can we show your personality? Where are you using words that for me feel jarring because they don't seem to fit with your brand? And sometimes that's because we pick up on the words other people are using in our industry, and we just guess that's the right way to say it. We don't question it. But for you and your particular approach, it feels a bit off with the rest of it. And so is there a better word we could use there? A better analogy that we could use that fits you? And so it's the kind of clarity, and then really drilling into the practice, because we all get better with practice. So if I just gave you a load of videos and sent you away, you'd just be in the same spot as you were before. So that practice really brings it all together. And that's the individual element that people say is really beneficial, because they then feel like they're not just able to articulate what they do, but they're able to really share the benefits of it, because they can now see it from somebody else's side and see what's so special and unique about it. And there's so much of this that's linked to self-expression, especially for women, and so much copy out there. We kind of shy away from promoting ourselves and from sharing what's so wonderful about our work, and we're missing so many opportunities in that. And so much of that comes across in language, and we don't even realize that we're doing it, that we're being apologetic in our language, that we're being hesitant in promoting ourselves. But having somebody else to look at your work and say, what are you really offering here? What is this transformation? Because I don't see it, I don't feel it. You need to bring it to life more for me. And don't be scared to make big promises and to be assertive. And so people really learn also that self-expression side of, where, not just in my business, but in my life, am I holding back or hiding certain elements or being hesitant to say exactly what I want to say, and the ways that presents itself in the language that they're choosing.
I think what you offer is just so unique, and just listening to you explain that is resonating with me as well, as a business owner and as a woman, and I do agree with you in the power of your words, and the holding back and the self-promotion. And I do see that with my own clients as well, because I can tell that they're holding back. So in a way, you and I can see the same things in patterns with working with people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the power of words, and I love the power of words as well, even though I'm in a very video oriented business. And And so on that topic with Instagram, being the big platform that you certainly market your business and your coaching and talk to your community and build your community. It is very heavily video oriented, and it's a lot of emphasis is placed on video. What are your thoughts around that in combining video and words? And how does that work for you and helping your clients?
Yeah. And I mean, you just touched on it when you said that we face similar or our clients face similar challenges. And that's the thing, is video and writing are two different mediums, but they're doing the same thing. They're connecting with people. And you can't connect with people if you don't really know what the value of what you're sharing, or you don't believe in the value of what you're sharing, or you can't really articulate it in a way that really shows exactly what you're trying to say and shows who you are and what makes you different and special. And I think that, yes, video and kind of writing or captions are two different things, but they're still sharing a message. And that's what, and I mean, you don't get that many videos that don't have somebody talking in them, which is still, it's very similar. It's sharing your story, sharing all those benefits of the work that you do, really making it clear for people what it would mean for them to invest with you as a business owner. Whether you're a service-based or product-based, there's still those benefits that people want to really understand on many different levels. And I think that video and writing combined is just like a magical formula for that, because video is a way to really feel the presence of somebody, to really feel that you're able to see who they are and connect with them, to really feel that energy. But that can also be translated into the words that you're putting with it, because if you see this wonderful, warm person talking to you, and then you read their caption and it just feels like a cold sales pitch, or there's no caption at all, it's just a bunch of hashtags, that connection is kind of fizzled out that you've just made. And so the video is really attractive to draw somebody to you and show them a bit of your personality. But if it's not reflected also in the copy, or the copy feels like a disconnect somehow with the person that you see, it's very hard to build that trust. And I think that people really need to see why they should be choosing you over somebody else and what that says about them. What does choosing your particular brand say about them as a person? And I think that if they see you in a video and they're then able to read your words and feel that same presence and that same energy, it's just like when you read a book and you feel like you're transported into somebody else's mind. It's like you see the pictures just like you would see them in your mind as you read a book. If that person is really writing from the heart and they really are clear on what it is that they want to say, and so you need to have that writing that feels really clear, feels like they can imagine it in their mind, but also there's a purpose behind it. It doesn't just feel flat on the page, but it feels like there is a passionate person on the other side of it who really wants to connect with you. And so I think that platforms like Instagram are just amazing because you can combine the two. You can have a great, attractive video that really shows somebody who you are and what it would be like to get in touch with you, because that's the other thing with writing, is they may think this sounds incredible, just what I need, but there's that hesitation of, who's the person on the other side of this? Who am I reaching out to? Whereas if they really get that sense from the writing that this is something that they really want to invest in, but then they also see the person they're going to be reaching out to, you're removing that obstacle then of, oh, I'm not sure, I wonder who this is. So I think that they work so well together. And that's why I think that social media is just great for connecting with people on so many different levels at once for business owners. And it's why it's exploding.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. And I think you're really touching on something that a lot of people aren't figuring out. And that's precisely why they should work with you. because I see a lovely connection between your videos and what you show, and then the caption underneath. They go together very, very well. And you write long captions, and you're not scared to write long captions. And I read them. I read them all.
Yay.
And I'm noticing that a lot of people are commenting on your posts, and obviously reading every single word, because you can tell with their comments that they've thoroughly read through it, they thought about it, and they've commented. Now that is engagement. And I think that's what's the special sauce that you bring, is that this is how you elevate, yourself in Instagram and showing yourself. So I should take your course. I've been watching you and following you forever. And I was just a bit coursed out last year, but I'm very interested. I've actually changed my website copy because of you, because of one post that you put out. And I was like, oh, I really should take a look at my website copy. And it wasn't me. It wasn't translating. I was like, there was a disconnect there. So I hopefully have improved it a bit, but there's definitely someone that you need in your corner to kind of show you. It's like, who are you? What's your business? And then how do you communicate that? And I think you do that so very well.
Thank you. And that's the thing. It's when you're sitting by yourself every day, you tend to get caught up with, maybe I should say things more like that. And like you mentioned, my long captions. And I did have the thought when I started posting, oh, maybe I shouldn't write such long captions, because you hear all the advice out there of make sure it's short, make sure it's skimmable, make sure. And yes, those things are important, but only to a certain point, because if you're not able to show who you are, and I do talk a lot, and I do like deep and meaningful conversation. And the people that love to work with me also love deep and meaningful connections. And that's why they want to work on the brand voice that will connect with other people, and not just write those kind of salesy, very short posts that sound like everybody else out there. And so I think it is about figuring out what your voice is and what your way is, and just being confident enough to put that out there.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to Shop Talk. It was great to finally meet you in person, Lauren, and all the best to you for the rest of the year. And yes, you take care.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.